The 16th edition of the Geostationary Operational Environmental Satellite, or GOES-16, is one of the latest and greatest hunks of metal we humans have hurled into space. The satellite is already revolutionizing how we visualize the weather and is set to improve forecasts. How does this satellite work and why is it so awesome? Okay, let's science. I'd like to pause this moment of sciencing for some GOES-16 imagery overlaid with music. Enjoy. To start, let's get a better idea of what GOES-16 is. GOES-16 is a geostationary satellite that's traveling at 3,000 miles, 22,000 miles above our heads, just so it can stay at one position relative to Earth and look down at the same area at all times. If you were to look up and view one of these satellites from the ground, it would appear as a motionless object in the sky. Now, the other type of satellite track is polar orbiting. Geostationary satellites only see one area of the Earth, while polar orbiting satellites go from pole to pole, seeing nearly every piece of Earth. GOES-16, as the name says, is the 16th of its kind. GOES-1 was launched in 1975 and was operational until 1985. Since then, 15 other of these satellites have been launched and put into orbit. Currently, GOES-13 through 15 are operational and still collecting data. So if we have 3 of these satellites already up there, why do we need GOES-16 and what makes it so special? Well, for one, these satellites are designed to have an operational lifetime. About every 10 years, we launch a new series of satellites with a similar mission. The latest series is composed of 4 satellites. GOES-R was launched in 2016 and is now named GOES-16. GOES-S will be launched March 1st, 2017, and the next 2 in 2019 and 2024. 2 of these satellites will be operational, one covering the eastern half of the United States, that'll be GOES-16, and the other covering the western half of the United States. One is for backup in case something goes wrong, and the final one, launched in 2024, will be used as a transition to the next suite of satellites. So, what makes this fleet so special? I'm so glad you asked. I can't emphasize it enough. GOES-16 and its sister satellites are so mind-blowing awesome. Each has a suite of instruments, several of which are new, making their debut in space. That's awesome. One of which is the Extreme Ultraviolet X-ray and Solar Irradiance Sensor, or better known as EXIS, which will be pointed directly at the sun, observing X-rays associated with solar flares and ultraviolet radiation associated with variability in solar radiation. These types of events can cause blackouts in GPS and communications, and EXIS will give us a better warning to prepare for these blackouts. Next up, the Global Lightning Mapper, or GLM. This is probably the flashiest of instruments. See what I did there? This instrument will be able to detect lightning within clouds, including bolts that travel hundreds of miles within the cloud before striking Earth's surface. Researchers will be able to use this data to better understand the relationship between lightning and thunderstorm development, and that will eventually improve models and forecasts. The final instrument I'll talk about is the Advanced Baseline Imager, or ABI. ABI is the crown jewel of GOES-16 and produces a lot of the pretty images you'll see. Now, the previous suite of GOES satellites had an imager, but this one is, well, as the name says, advanced. ABI will be able to collect 16 different wavelengths of radiation compared to 5 on the previous imager. It can also collect visible satellite imagery as quickly as 1 image every 30 seconds. This allows meteorologists to see weather phenomenon like they've never seen before. It can see the development of an explosive thunderstorm, or mesovortices in the eye of a hurricane, or smoke from a raging wildfire. As a weather nerd, I am in absolute love with GOES-16 and what it will tell us about our atmosphere. As a taxpayer, I'm incredibly proud of what the folks at NOAA, NASA, and Lockheed Martin have built and launched 22,000 miles above our head. If you want to geek out like me and see some of this imagery, I posted a bunch of links in the description below that you can look at. What do you want to see from GOES-16? Leave it in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe. Thanks for listening.